I don't know about you, but I absolutely love the smell of fresh baking bread in the oven. It is heavenly, and right now my kitchen smells amazing because I am making one of my favorite bread recipes, and that is a white, fluffy sandwich bread that is amazing. It's got simple ingredients, super easy to make. Once you try this bread, you are going to really wonder why you ever bought store-bought bread, ever. It's that good. Give it a try.
To get started on this recipe, you are going to need 1 2/3 cups water, 1 packet of active dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of butter, and 4.5 cups of flour. To get started, we are going to preheat the oven to 390 degrees, and I do this early so it's a good spot for my dough to rise on that nice warm stove. In a stand mixer with the dough attachment, you're going to add in your 1 2/3 cup water. I'm actually splitting this in half and doing 1/2 cup and 1/3, and then adding my sugar and my active dry yeast and giving that a stir. And then I will add the other 1/2 cup and 1/3 cup later on. You want that to get nice and frothy. Then you're going to add your other 1/2 cup and the other 1/3, your 1 tablespoon of honey, your teaspoon of salt, your 4.5 cups of flour, and for this recipe I am just using all-purpose flour. No special flour needed. I think that's one of the things that I love the most about this recipe is it's simple. It only has 7 ingredients and it comes together super quickly and is oh so delicious. Next, you're going to add your butter, and you want to break this up into little pats of butter. You don't want it all in one spot. You want to break it up so it can get evenly distributed throughout the dough in the kneading process. Next, you're going to lock your stand mixer into position and turn it on low and let that dough just start to form. And then as the dough starts to form, you can then turn it on up to medium and let that form the dough ball. And you're going to let that go for about a minute, and then after a minute you want to stop and just check to make sure that the dough is not sticky, which this dough is perfect. If it was sticky, you'd add a little more flour, but if not, you're going to want to turn that stand mixer back on medium for about 9 minutes and just let it do its thing, and then it comes out with this perfectly soft, awesome dough. And you're just going to spray a bowl and take your dough out, and you're going to kind of want to roll this into a nice bowl or ball. Just form a nice dough ball. And just be nice and gentle with it. You don't need any extra flour because the dough is not sticky. It's just nice and soft. You're going to cover the top with a little bit of that oil. And then you're going to take a piece of saran wrap and you're going to spray one side with oil. And then you're just going to lightly cover the bowl and just let that rise for about 45 minutes until it doubles in size. And that's why I preheated the oven, so it has a nice spot to warm. Once it has risen and doubled in size, you are then going to scoop the dough out onto, you don't even have to flour the surface, and you're going to cut it in half. Now this can make 2 smaller loaves or it can make 1 larger loaf, and I just chose to make the 2. And this dough is really easy to work with. You're just going to take a rolling pin and you're going to roll out the dough into a nice, try and get it even. It does not have to be perfect because obviously, as you can tell, mine is not an even rectangle by any means. But you want it to be about a 1/2 inch thick, maybe a little bit less. And then you just want to roll it up. And then you want to tuck the ends a little bit. And then you want to place this into a sprayed bread pan, seam side down. And then just repeat those steps for the second loaf. And really what you're just looking to do is try and get out any air pockets and air bubbles and just give yourself a relatively even surface and area to roll the bread and have it become a uniformed size. Then you're going to follow the same process where you're going to cover both loaves with a little bit of saran wrap that's been sprayed loosely. And then again, you're just going to let that sit on the warm oven for about 45 minutes until they are the size that you want them to be. And these are ready to go in the oven. And in 25 minutes, we are going to have some amazing fresh baked bread. Into the oven these go. And 25 minutes later, and look at that. Beautiful homemade bread. And oh my gosh, my house smells so good. Just pop those out onto a wire rack and let them cool down a little bit. And then just take a little bit of butter and just brush that on the outside and along all the sides of the bread. And then let it cool completely. And look at that. It is so good. I couldn't wait. I had to slice them up. This is still warm. Technically, you're not supposed to slice it when it's still warm, but the first loaf never stands a chance in my house. We always eat that before it's even had a chance to cool. And there you have it, light and fluffy, delicious bread.
This is one that you guys definitely have to try. This makes some of the best sandwich bread that I've ever had. It's delicious. It comes out light and fluffy every time and will not disappoint. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I've got more great content where this came from. And as always, I hope you all have a fabulous week, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Enjoy.